Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about going back onto medication or starting a new course of medication, specifically antidepressants, because that's where my experience lies. It took me a long time to come to terms with the fact that I was ill again and needed help, and at first I really didn't want to go back onto medication. I didn't want to be weak and give in that easily, but life doesn't always work out the way you plan it to. And in January I started a new course of antidepressants. For those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with depression in 2013 and I was on medication for that up to 2014, the end of 2014. I did make a video about my experiences coming off that medication, so there you go if you want to see that before you see this. I know it's kind of in a reverse order, but we'll get to that in a minute. I speak a lot on this channel about my mental health, and specifically over the last couple of months about how it's been going downhill and the events that were leading up to me deciding to go back onto medication. If you don't know and you haven't seen those videos, either go and watch them, that's cool, or I could just tell you I went back onto medication in January this year, so I've been on these new pills for just over 3 months now. The pills in question are these. It's 50 milligrams of sertraline and I take one a day. This is a different medication to the one that I was on a few years ago, but it's an SSRI, which means it does the same thing as the other one does, just with different chemicals. It's really not fun starting new medication, and your body's going through a lot of stuff, so it makes sense that there's going to be some bad side effects. You just got to put up with them for a bit and it will get better after that. Obviously everyone's bodies react in different ways to different things, so my experiences with these drugs may be completely different to yours. What works for me may not work for you, and at the end of the day you're the person who knows your body better than anyone else, so if something really doesn't feel right, then tell a doctor and get it sorted. The footage you're about to see is from January, which is the first month that I was on the medication, and I tried to film every day or every time that something significant happened, so it's sort of a little mini vlog of my journey through starting antidepressants. This is my first antidepressant in a year and a half. Apologies for my face, I just got up. I have an exam today. It's probably not a good idea to start medication when you've got exams this week. Yesterday I took my first pill, you saw it, and after that I started feeling really sick. So I went to bed and I had a 3-hour nap. I never do that, and considering I hadn't started revising for the exam I have today, wasn't the best idea. I remember feeling sick last time I started a new course of medication as well, so I don't know if there's a link there, or whether it's like a placebo effect, or whether I just ate too much cheesy pasta sauce before I took that tablet, because I did eat quite a lot. Day 2. Morning. I've not been sleeping very well. I've just been sleeping really lightly, and the bins for my halls are literally just outside the window there. So the bin men woke me up at 6:40 and they've been waking me up at a really weird time. And also there's offices underneath my room, and the toilet for the offices has a hand dryer in, and someone is using that hand dryer like in the middle of the night, and it keeps waking me up because I've just been sleeping so lightly. I am not naked, by the way. I'm not naked. I just came out my exam for about 15 minutes before it ended until, well, now. I've been shaking like so much. I was shaking beforehand because I was nervous, and I thought like it was just nerves, even though it was like really, really bad shaking. But then it started again towards the end, and also my pupils were really dilated when I came out. I looked in the mirror and like my eyes looked almost black. It was very weird. It does say in the book of instructions that if you get really shaky you should go and talk to a doctor. I hope I stop shaking soon, because can you see that? My camera is moving. I am at Jacob's and I did not sleep at all. Every time I was near sleep my body like jolted itself awake because it was panicking that I was going to die in my sleep. Never had that before. Also, like, my arms, my hands keep going numb, which is kind of worrying. But I think I am overthinking everything because I'm looking out for symptoms all the time. So that could be why. Anyway, day 4. Today's been a lot better. I've not been that shaky. I've had a few little bits where I've been sort of jolty, and there's been no like negative mental side effects yet. So have you noticed anything different about me?
The other day you were shaking, but not today. We're talking just about today.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, after like the first day or for a few days taking them, you were a bit shaky, getting a bit crazy, just struggling to sleep.
It is going a lot better, and I've been sleeping We're over a week in now and the shaking has stopped for the most part, apart from sort of the odd jolt in my legs every so often. I am sleeping. It's kind of gone the opposite direction now. I keep having naps. Like yesterday I had a 3-hour nap from 5 until 8-ish, and then had dinner and then slept for like 9 more hours. So I'm very sleepy.
I'm so tired. I always feel tired and I sort of ignore it and power through because no matter how much I sleep, I'm still tired. But at the moment, I can't ignore it and I just keep having naps at the stupidest times and I'm just very, very sleepy. And it's sort of nice to actually be able to sleep rather than sort of having to ignore it and get on with my day. It's sort of nice.
And that's where I got up to before I suppose the side effects became sort of part of my daily routine and I didn't notice them anymore, so I didn't feel the need to talk about them. It was definitely a lot harder this time to get onto the medication than last time. There were a lot more physical side effects, whereas last time there were a lot more mental and emotional side effects. Another side effect I've noticed is that I yawn a lot. Like, once I start yawning, I can't stop. Even thinking about yawning is going to make me yawn. Those clips that you've just seen aren't really the full picture because during that time I found it really hard to articulate myself and communicate. Eye contact was hard and just getting words out my mouth was hard. So a lot of the things that I had thought I was going to say, I just didn't really express properly. In particular the shaking. It did start off as just shaking and the dilated pupils and my heart was beating quite fast, which I didn't really mention. But that evening and then for the next day or two, it got so bad. My heart was beating so fast, I really believed that I was going to die in my sleep and I couldn't go to sleep in case I died because my heart was like overworking so much. And I felt so anxious. I feel anxious a lot, but this was different. The anxiety was telling me I was going to die and then I was believing it because my heart was being weird and it just wasn't fun. But the good news is it did all die down and now I feel like I'm living life as normal, except happier than before, which is great. As I said before, especially with this type of medication, you have to give it time to start getting to work. It takes at least a month for the good things to kick in. So don't get frustrated if you don't see an effect right away, and don't come off it if you don't see an effect right away. Just push on through for a month or so, and then reconsider whether that's the right thing for you. Another piece of advice I would give is to tell someone that you're on the medication. I know it's really hard to talk about mental health stuff, especially to like family members, but if they know, they can be so supportive and it can just give you that extra boost. Just the fact that they're there to help you if you need them, and if anything does go wrong with your medication, then they're going to be there to help you and you're not going to be alone, which is a big thing. It's a big thing. Deciding whether or not you take antidepressants or go through therapy or choose a different option for your recovery is not up to me. It's got to be a decision that you make for yourself, and you're the expert on you. You know what's going to work and what's not going to work. No one else does. What I will say though is that a lot of people are put off choosing antidepressants or antipsychotics because they think it's going to change them as a person. From my experiences with the two drugs, I can tell you that they didn't change who I was as a person. If anything, they made me a better person because I was the same me, but happier and healthier. So don't let that fear of changing as a person put you off, because going on to antidepressants and getting help for my illnesses was the best decision of my life. I really hope this video was helpful to you in some way. There's a lot of similar content coming soon, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you next time. Bye!